Hello everyone, it's Peter here, Piotr Fisner, and welcome to this episode. Guys, so we didn't have a TV for a bit of a time, yes, and I would like to switch to the scope. Okay, so inside the scope we've got a Samsung TV board, and I would like to focus on one section which will be here. Where I am here. Okay, so that will be about this place. Look, as we know, capacitors shouldn't short on both sides. So if I will get my meter on, yes, let's zoom me in so that you can see as well the meter, not only, oh, it's a bit bonkers. Maybe this way you can see it. So, you know the drill. Diode mode. Meter from 90s failing. Now it's okay. Now we see those here, yes, capacitors. So they are looking like they are on the one line. Okay, so these are all, let's say, minus, or these are all minus, and these are all plus, or these. So what I found here, yes, it's now all of them will be doing it, yes, because of course they are on one line. So what I found is that I think this one as well, but I'll explain before we will move on, only from curiosity how this one goes. So something is shorting, yes, we don't know what it is. Now this TV came in for a restart of picture, so it goes to the Samsung logo and restarting, yes. I found that one of the signals, you know, I've disabled and it stopped, you know, it stopped that, but there was no picture. So I said, okay, I need to check. So I've checked the driver board, the board which goes directly to the display. Okay, it's called panel driver board, or driver board, I call it. Now, on that board, I've checked no voltages. So there was only 3.3 and 1.8 volt. Okay, that's it. Nada, nothing. Nic in Polish, yeah. So, I'm not expert, okay, but I know that you need to have a VCC or V-in voltage in, yes, you need to have a VDD, you need to have VGL, you know, and all those voltages, which actually I've opened my cheat sheet, okay, yeah, I've opened it. Drive, let's go, and I'll read you what signals you need on the TV in order to make it working. Yes, all the video signals, you should know them, you should learn them. So my cheat sheet is showing me VCOM, VGL, VGH, AVDD, and VDD. Yes, so some of the main boards will give us 12 volts, some small main boards will give us 5 volts. That depends on the screen size and the technology and model they are using, you know. So then, if we don't have these voltages, okay, and signals, you can imagine, yes, that Kaspersky is popping out, like I would care at the moment, because I switched to Windows, sorry. I try to use Windows as well, you know, like from time to time, so yeah, it doesn't matter. What I want to say is, if you don't have these voltages, yes, then of course you will have no picture. So the backlight was on because power supply, I've checked, had 3 or 4 times 12 volts. That's what it was written on the power supply, and that was fine, so I couldn't say power supply is faulty. So I said to myself, okay, because of the volts coming out of the power supply and they are not coming to the driver board, which is directly connected to the display, you know, we've got a problem on the main board, yes? And you've got something like a T-con timing controller. Now I'll show you something. Unfortunately, I've got in hand only 75-inch damaged display, yes? So that's the driver board. Some of them, if they are bigger, like this 75-inch, these driver boards will be connected one to another, okay? If they are smaller, they might not be connected, okay? And they sometimes might be only two, and the smallest will be only one, yes? Of those driver boards. So let's put it back. You might be wondering why I keep those, but that's not for this episode. So anyways, so now we know, yes? The driver board, which I showed you just now, hanging off the display, connected with a chip-on film, COFs, yes? Connected with COFs, and it's something which should get those voltages, those which I've read you, yes? From VCOM to a VDD. Now, if we don't have it, the fault is here on the main board, okay? So that's why I checked voltages and I couldn't see any shorted capacitors, yes? So I said, okay, so let me lift this one, which is cooling the CPU, okay? So I took it off. And that's why I found this section here underneath, you know, this here, because that was blocking. You can see that all those, you know, like this dot, you know, these are, you see, this I couldn't see, that area I couldn't see, not at all. So VRAM everything, you know, or RAM, I couldn't see it. That's why, you know, that's why I said, okay, let me open. I've opened it, and that's what I found. Yes, I found that capacitors are shorted. So now the question is, what's shorting it? Yes, capacitor can short it, of course, yes. Some chip can short it, MOSFET can short it, yes, diode can short it. So it's quite difficult when you've got a bunch of them, you know, to pretty much judge which is which, yes. So now either I can desolder one after another, literally, or I would have to check the resistance, okay. But the problem only with my resistance is that my meter is not that accurate. Okay, so if I would see that this has, for instance 8.1 ohm, okay, the next one 8.0, so you see this one has lower resistance, yes, 8.0, 8.0, and 8.0. You see, if you've got a proper, like a meter which is dearer or have, you know, more digits after the comma, then it's easier, yes, because then you can, you see, that's closer to the short, yes, if that's the case, because that's 7.6, okay. So then again, yes, then again, if we've got a short somewhere here, okay, that's 8.2, see, or 8.1 ohms. Oh, come on, you little cheeky monkey. So you see, so we've got a problem, which is, see, that's nothing, nada. And that's weird, because that has 0 on both sides, overload, okay? So then again, we can check it out. Okay, it's good, 300 millivolts drop, but again, it's 300 on this side, yeah? So I wouldn't say this one has any issues, but I would say this one has less problem. The lowest ohms are on this capacitor, the C328, okay? What can cause that? I've got no idea. Okay, but we can remove it. Okay, we can remove it, and we can check if we can well, if we can see if the fault will exist, still exists. Yes, I need to check on a larger tip. Again, my few quid worth soldering iron. As you know, the price in a case of soldering iron doesn't matter. Only if you solder more, then, you know, you will use better those dearer ones, yes, like stations, soldering stations. Whereas I'm okay with either or. Only I would like to make a pedal that I can press my foot. That's it, you know. Okay, so where are you? The culprit one. Let's give it too much flux. Let's get some tweezers. Tweezers, where are you? Oh, tweezers are not at their place. That's wow, we were. Okay, I don't know why I've placed tweezers here, but okay. My fault. Okay. Now let's try to remove this. Why that you don't want to go out? So you don't want to touch that chip. Did it weld itself? You know what? Let's add some solder and help it out, because if it has let it solder, or if it welded itself to the surface, then it will struggle with moving. But now with more solder, yes, with flux, you see, now we can check it out. Is it this capacitor, or is it something else, not this capacitor? Before we will stop our work here, let us soak in, wick in some solder which I've left. Ow, my fingers are burning. Okay, let's leave a bit of a touch of a solder is fine. Let's clean the tip. Let's switch off the soldering iron. Okay, let's put it aside. Now it's okay. Let's leave this mess as is. That's okay. And now what we want to do is, okay, it can be diode mode. It's fine. Do you see anything? You don't see anything. I've made myself slightly bigger so that you can see, and you can't see me. Okay, so this is a diode mode. This should beep, and this is not beeping. Okay, it's beeping. So let's check the same capacitors. You see, that wasn't a capacitor. In that case, there is some other issue. Something else can cause the short. So should we go and desolder all of them? Because that was the, you know, the lowest. These as well. What are their ohms? Yes. Ooh, 6.7. 6.7. Okay. What else do we have on this line here? That goes through the small piece. No. Okay, so let's follow this. Okay, so this to the ground has 0.05, and when I will touch both probes on this ground, I will have 0.05, so that's okay. Yes, whereas I know that 0.05, what's on this side here? Okay, so that's mean it's 7, so that's the 6.5 about. So that's mean on this side it's a short, not on this side, but on this side is a short. Okay, so where else does it go? That goes to the coil, and it's finishing off here. And the coil will be okay. Yeah, coil is okay. It should pass the current. And so in that case, it goes to this chip. So the question is, yes, we know that this capacitor which we desoldered had less ohms than these on the side, yeah, this whole row. Now we know that the next are these two, okay, which has less, and if these will still show okay after removing them, okay, there will be only two choices, either these capacitors or this chipset. So is this chipset shorted to ground? Where is our ground? No, doesn't show that it's shorted to the ground. Yeah. Does it? Doesn't. So okay, so in that case that goes through this coil, goes to here. Now this is to the ground. No. So this goes to here. That's shorted to 7 point something, or here. Yes, 7.8. Come on. Yes. So if lucky, yes, just if lucky, will be those two capacitors. If no, I don't believe those 5 capacitors down there will be faulty. So still got time. What's the time here? Ooh, my clock on the computer, because I'm on the Windows, it's off. Guys, I'll pause it because I will be late for boys to school. I'll be right back. If you can, please like the video, that's really helping the channel. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to do it because I know I could be late for them and it's 2:30, not 1:30. So I don't want to be late for children to school. Okay, let's get rid of these two. We can then check, you know, what's there for us. Yes, is it still the same problem? Now I've got this capacitor here. I would like to check the capacitance. We don't know what's the capacitance of those. Either we will have schematics or the same power supply to check it. And if no, it's only guessing what we can get, and packaging doesn't tell us anything. Yes, because you get sizes of the packaging, but the only thing which we could do is, you know, get some other. I could use hot air, but that would be louder. That's why I prefer to use, you know, I prefer to use just soldering iron. No, it's not the best. Okay, let's get these tweezers. Let's get first one out. This one was looking a bit odd, so you go first. I'll move this one in a different position. Okay. Ah, you don't see it. Well, I can't help it, guys. Sorry. Just want to remove it. Okay, remove that. Now I won't be removing the second one. Okay. I will leave it as is. And let's get us wicket fit off. Or actually, let it stay as is. And give us a meter into the diode mode. Yeah, no, 200 ohms. That's okay. 200 ohms will do. Now let's get. Still look, still 6.5 ohms. So I assume that these two capacitors will be fine. So let's get us this board on the side. Let's get this capacitor first in place. Okay, let's get us into the capacitance mode. Where's the capacitance meter? I'm going on a bet that that will be fine. I'll switch to 2000 micro. Yeah, 2000 microfarad, which is still too much for this capacitor, but oh well. Let it be. Ooh. Really? That's where we going? Help us out. 0.38. 38 microfarads. And count. Don't run away. We've got no time for fun. Count. Yeah, 37, that's fine. So that's the recent one, and before, now you don't want to hold, you've got no flux on yourself or what? If you don't have flux, oh well. This one, same story, 39, 40, 38. The same capacitance. That's a good thing. So it doesn't matter, you know, which way. Let's get the last one, okay? Because that's what's. So you see, you've got something to learn from this video. What are the capacitors here? The capacitance of these capacitors. Okay, let's get it off. Oh, jumping horses. At least I see where it is. That's a good thing. Okay, now. Oh. That's wrong meter probes. I need a yellow one meter probes, and I need it to 200 ohms. It's still 7.4. I can solder back all those capacitors. It's fine, because that's not the problem. You see? So this capacitor will be good as well in that case. Come, little fella, and show us yourself. Don't be shy. Your mama weren't shy, and look how pretty you are. Yeah, 38. You don't see it because it's behind the yellow one, but 38, all of them. That's a good thing. Okay, so we can solder it back in that case, because we know these capacitors are fine, yes? So we're not worried about capacitors here, those capacitors. Let's get this one onto here. Okay. Come on. I will destroy it with a lot of heat soon. Okay, well, doing it and showing it and everything doesn't help, because I'm not an expert. I'm just, you know, I just guy who've learned those things and do them because understand them, but not the best when it comes to micro soldering. Okay. I'm tempted to yay. I know why, because I've got I should prep those pads better so that I have more solder on my tip. There was not enough solder, so let me see. Now it's perfect because it's holding. That's why it's perfect. Now you know when it will be perfect. Well, let's leave this tail. It will be perfect when I'll have a short on them, because we had a short. So when I will have short on them, I know it will be perfect. Pam, 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 pam. Stand. Go off. Oh, you little cheeky monkey. Ah, my tweezer is too big. Okay, what I've done when my tweezer is big, I've used something like, why I'm burning my clothes down? Well, it's too late anyway. I burned something and I don't know where it is. So, anyways, let's go back to the work. Okay, so I was able to do it just by pressing it with something. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's holding. That's a progress. Okay, I can correct it. Some viewer will say that I'm doing a rubbish job, and probably I would agree with that viewer to be true. Okay, I can clean it up later, and that's what I want to check right now, because that's one of the three. What it is here? Wow. Okay, I see I need to correct it. But it's fine. For now, I'm happy because they are back, and I've got this one last here, which I need to place. Where's my capacitor? Okay. We get enough. We need to prep pads, or we need to do this improvision technique. Either or. I'll add a bit of a solder. Clean this because I touched it somewhere to my clothes. These are kitchen scrub baths to wash the dishes. Oh, I've got 10 minutes to leave. Not even, I think. Big blob. About spreading this love to the fella on the side. Good. So now let's get this third actually. Oh, I can use my tweezers. You see, that's how you do it. That's professional. One touch does plenty. Yes. That's not a good soldering. But anyways, it works, it works. I can correct it later, as I said. I just wanna switch it off now and check if I've got a short on them, because if I've got a short on them, then that's mean they are soldered right. Okay, so do I have a short on you, or it's too hot? Okay, sorry, that was the first. Yes, we've got a short, 6. Now do we have short on this mess here? Yes. Yes, okay, so we've got them back. So now, should we go and solder those 5 and see if there will be still a short? Because if there will be still a short, that means these are not these capacitors, and that might be the chipset next. I don't wanna because if we go from them, yes, from these, this is a whole line which goes through here and goes to this. Okay, then after this go out from here, and that's just the coil, so that's just the wire, and wire we've checked it's fine, the resistance was low. So then when we go out from here, okay, we're going through this small capacitor, well, yes, to the chip, we're going straight to the chip, and we've got here some resistor, which is okay, I guess. But after behind this resistor it's another capacitor. So what we can check before is those two capacitors, and if they are okay. (200 ohms). Let's switch to the diode mode. Yeah, fine. Resistor will have some resistance, so I don't care. This is not showing us anything. Shut up. Okay, so this capacitor as well is showing short. But these not. They are below it. I can show you this here. Okay, I'll move myself because meters are here, so no point to. Okay, so you've got 3 capacitors which are here, which is fine, here which is fine, here which is fine, here which is fine. Usually the bigger ones are going quicker. Usually the smaller ones are not the culprit of some short. You see this? This again is faulty, or something causing it to be faulty, you see? And that's the road to hell, because that comes through to this coil, okay? Now why this one is not shorting? Because it's a good one, okay. So now this coil is fine, we've checked that, it should beep, that's fine, okay. So these ones are shorting. So now the question is, would that small capacitor cause that? Now the question is it this one? Are these ones? Or this chip? Is this chip shorted? Now the question is it this chip? Is it this capacitor or these capacitors? And that's what I will have to check right now. But because it will take me some time, okay guys, so let's finish it off, because I need to leave in 5 minutes and you've got 38 minutes recording. Let's split it into the part 2, okay? Let's do this part 1 where we are, and let's just, you know, know what I need to do. I'll test it out. We will see what's causing it. If that's the chip, you know, and I won't have that chip, then it's a problem. Yeah, that's looking like a RAM module, and if RAM is shorted, not nice, not nice. But it can have a low resistance as well. RAM can have low resistance, okay? So I need to make sure that I'm doing the right thing, but capacitors shouldn't short, even if there would be low resistance. That's why I need to figure it out. I'll do it off the camera probably. I will try to desolder things. And if there will be anything worth your knowledge, I will record part 2, okay? So let's say this is part 1. If possible, please do like. If you can, subscribe. If you did, thank you very much. If possible, let's fix them all. And we see that, you know, that we have short on capacitors or the chipset. If we get a short on this memory, we get a problem. But anyways, you know, like, let's try to fix it. I need to go. You've got 40 minutes video, and thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.